Okay, so for a while now, you guys have been asking me to make a funk or wave tutorial, so I decided to do them both at once in Ableton Live 11. But you should be able to follow along with any DAW for the most part. Don't listen to him. This guy's beats stink. Today I'll be showing you how to make a SKELER type beat. Something akin to what's on Night Drive 2 or Night Drive 1. Stop acting like you don't hear me. SKELER makes quite a few subgenres within wave, but we're going to be focusing specifically on this one today. I know you hear me. What the fuck? Thought it'd be nice to focus specifically on his funk wave stuff because that's my favorite stuff from him. Alright, let's get started. Oh my god, am I dead? Okay, so firstly, we're going to be going over the formula, just like we always do for these sort of tutorials. Step number 1, you're going to need a car video. Yeah, I know. It's not even music related, but it's really important. The tempo is going to be roughly 140 to 160. This is really a rough estimate because I've seen it go all the way up to like 185. All right, so the bass is going to be a re-space 100% of the time. There's no room for variation here. If you put an 808, you're going to be exiled from the wave community. And welcome to the funk community. Just kidding, they're not going to welcome you either. We'll be using Serum or Vital for all the synthesizers today. And everything else should be just audio, basically. So you should be able to follow along in any DAW, as long as you have Serum or Vital. All right, then for melodies, we're gonna wanna use like wavy, electronic type sounds. Really nothing too organic sounding. It's gotta sound pretty digital in my opinion. So saw waves, square waves. You could also use plucks, weird lead sounds, but generally they gotta sound pretty electronic. And again, car videos, really important, right? Don't forget that. That's why I put it in here twice. All right, and then for the vocals, we're going to be doing Memphis rap vocals. You can also do modern vocals too, apparently. You may ask, how do I have all of this information? Well, honestly, I just studied his mixes for like an hour or two before making this video and then wrote down my notes. Okay, so to get this started off, we're going to start at like 150 BPM, make a little 8-bar loop. I feel like drums are generally a good way to start. At least in terms of if you're trying to like replicate a certain style, because then it's kind of hard to get the rest of it wrong. I'm just going to get a drum rack, put a bunch of kicks in there, put a bunch of snares in there. You're going to want some pretty decently hard stuff though, for sure. But you're probably going to want sort of trappy sounding snares. I'm just going to go in here and draw it in for you guys, because I think that might be easier for people who are new to production, right? So I'm going to double click here to draw in a MIDI clip. I'm going to turn off the loop. Then I'm going to draw in some stuff. We're just double click here on whatever we want to add in. I'm going to try to find a hard one to go on the first drum beat. Maybe make it a narrower grid so it's easier to navigate. Yeah, something like that. I'm going to add in the snare now just so we know where we're at. I'm just going to make it a really short loop for now. Maybe like 4 bars or 2 bars. Just to get it going, you know. I'm going to put all the snares on the 3s. And it may be different depending on if you're doing halftime BPM, right? Okay, that's going to be a start for now. Nothing too crazy, but we're going to build it up a little bit as we go along. Now we're going to do hi-hats. We're going to do trap hi-hats. There's several different ways to do it. All right, so I'm going to go in here, drag in some hi-hats. So like any of these would probably work pretty good. All right, so we got some hi-hats here. These should be fine. What I generally do is I'll put an ARP on the drum rack, either as the entire thing, or I'll put it on individual notes within here and then have them playing different speeds so that when I play it, it'll be playing back a different speed, right? So you can draw them in, or you can play them in, whatever, however you want to do it. I generally like to play them because I feel like I can get more creative with it, and I feel like drawing them in is very tedious and not fun. Really quickly here, I'm going to assemble this trap hi-hat thing. I'm just going to drag arpeggiators on all of them and duplicate them a bunch of times. MIDI effects and then ARP, drag it on. When you drag it on the specific note, it only plays on that specific note. So as you can see, this one is playing with ARP on it and the other ones are not. So the benefit of this here is we can duplicate them and make them play different speeds. Look at this. Now we got that one playing 16ths, this one playing 12ths, this one playing 8ths, and then this one is going to play 30 seconds. And then I'm going to do that with each of these hi-hat samples. So I'm going to do mostly 8th notes, but then I'm going to slide in some 16th and 32nd notes and triplets here and there, I think. That's my plan. I'm going to go in here and quickly quantize by pressing Ctrl U. I'm going to go in and make the velocities all about the same. Okay, so I think I decided I'm going to do the bass next as opposed to melodies. These are all provided by Liquid Ritual today. They were nice enough to give me some free stuff, and they also provided me with an affiliate link. So if you guys want to buy any of these presets or kits from them, which they seem pretty good so far to me, there's a link for it down in the description. And if you want to get some goodies while also giving me some goodies, make sure to check that out. So I'm going to pull up one of their respaces here. Okay, cool. So we got a bass line here. Basically, it's just a respace patch. Pretty simple to make. I have a tutorial. I'm gonna link it up here somewhere if you guys are interested in making your own. Okay, we got something there, and I was not recording. But thankfully, Ableton has this feature where I just clicked right there, and it brought it back. Hallelujah. Let me tell you guys how this one is made. So this one, it says it's a lead here, but I'm actually using it as more of a pluck, I believe. It looks like it's constructed with a SAW and LR waveform. I don't know what, oh, Liquid Ritual waveform. Then an add bass filter. Just has a pretty good quality to it. That's why I really like this one. And then it's got a bunch of effects to it, as you can see, dimension expander, phaser, chorus, delay, reverb. So then here are the notes here if you're curious. And then we're going to write another melody to go over the top of it here. This one's just a square wave, basically. It's just a square wave with reverb, and it does like a little envelope motion too, but it's not too complicated. Okay, let's see if we can write something over the top of it. So maybe like copy paste a few things here, tweak them a bit. That's kind of fire. Yeah. I mean, this was just a SAW wave with unison and a lot of release, it looks like, and maybe reverb, I'm guessing. Yep, master sound if we wanted to. We could throw some saturation or something on the return channel or distortion, whatever you got. I'm gonna send it through here. Okay, so we got like the basis of the beat here. You know, it's not the full beat, but it's like basically, you know, the idea is here. So now we're going to bring in vocals because that's going to be the next important part. So for the vocals, I'm going to include a PHONK acapella pack. I've made like a very large acapella pack in the past, and then it's like a bunch of PHONK acapellas, Memphis rap vocals, you know, but turned acapellas, and they're labeled by BPM here, and as well as key. But the key part's not really that important. The BPM part's the important part. So we're at 150 BPM. So we're going to look at something around 140 or 150 BPM. I haven't heard Juicy J in any SKELER tracks. I don't know. That might not be the one, but Gangsta Boo might work. So here's why we're going to use the acapellas every time we drag it in here. You unwarp it, then you click warp. Then you make sure it's at the proper speed, which is 150. If it isn't, it's already matching our proper BPM for our track. If it's not, then you put in whatever the BPM is right here. I'm gonna start it on the first word and see if that's the proper place. If it sounds off, you could try moving it forward a bit. Sometimes it just doesn't start on the one always. Yeah, I just don't think this is the right vocal. I generally find with funk, you're either gonna be looking for 1 minute, you're going to find your acapella that's good for your song in either 1 minute or 15 hours. Those are the only two options. So beware of that when you guys do this, okay? Okay, I think we found something good here. So I could use this to kind of shape how the track's going to go now, because now I feel like some of the melody sounds are really like up front. I think the next thing we could do is add some open hats. So you're going to want to add a drum rack again and then drag in a bunch of open hats. The way I generally do it though is I have like an open hat thing saved already. So if you don't want to play it in, which sometimes I don't really want to, and I'd rather just draw it in, or use audio, what I'll do is I'll find the notes here, use this open hat, but we want to use the audio. You right click show and explorer, and then you're just going to drag it in. Okay, it's going to make it a lot easier for us to chop up. Like watch this right here. So I just cut a little section of that by pressing Control E. Then I'm going to move it over by holding Control and dragging, and then we got an extra copy of it there. And then I'm going to do that same sort of thing every so often. Maybe we could do it even faster if we wanted to, like something like this. It's really going to depend where you put it, depending on your song, because it depends on the rhythms of everything else, right? I might just do that all the time like that. That actually sounds really cool. So we could put another sound there too. Like we're basically trying to fill space. This is the way I try to describe it, but without clashing with the other rhythms. So I'm trying to like just create like a rhythm between the different open hats, kind of like they're talking to each other a bit, right? So let's say the vocal doesn't fit right when it's coming in. There's a couple of different options. You can either chop it in, or you can fade it in. Those are also good options. Or you can bring it in later in the song. There's a lot of different things you could do. Might do a fade. Then from there, it's just all how you want to get creative, really. All right, next I'm using Portal to tweak the lead. Then I put LFO tool on Portal to get it back on beat, because that's one of the things about Portals. It's hard to control. Started adding more funk vocals. Yeah, I know these chops have been used a million times, but I don't know, I think they work pretty well. Then I added a max for live pitch drop to the master channel. I started making a sort of typical build-up section with some skippy kicks to make it a little bit different than your average track, or try to at least. Then I had it drop to, you guessed it, an 808. And then back to a Reese after 8 bars. I finished arranging it more, and that's it. That's the video. I kind of want to do my own vocals for this track. If you guys want to see that, let me know down in the comments. Anyway, here's the finished song here. Oh yeah, I added halftime at the end. That's been it for making a funk wave fucking beat like SKELER. I feel like a skeleton right now because I've been doing this for like a couple hours now. All right. Why are you wearing that shirt? Oh, I'm trying to get fired, to be honest. It's a shame. He died so young. He was 32. Oh, that's not young at all. Probably for the best then. Yeah, I know. What the actual fuck? I know a guy who can bring him back to life. You don't mean... Yes, it's time.
Bang Incorporated.